It is day 13. Yes, I have to double check that in case it was day 12. Anyway, today the thing I wanted to discuss was doing the work. And that's doing the internal work, doing the deep work, some people call it, doing shadow work, doing a deep dive and inquiry into oneself, and releasing anything that might be stuck or holding oneself back. And my thoughts on what doing the work actually incorporated for me. But then something came up, and I thought, I want to discuss that as well. And both I'll just do briefly. I'll do a deep dive maybe in the next week or so. Is the topic of shame, and feeling shame about my body, feeling shame about how did I get here? You know, I was doing really well with my health and vibrant energy. I'd lost a whole bunch of weight. I was feeling great, and lots of energy. I know that it was coping mechanism of last year. I logically and rationally understand that is what happened, and at the end of the day, it's okay because it was. But I still feel a lot of shame about it. Like, how could I let myself go? I know I'm not alone in that, and it still feels isolating. It still feels like, oh, I know better, I should have done better. And I think at the root of that is shame. And one of the definitions of shame is in terms of having this negative self opinion that in some way did the wrong thing, am wrong. Brené Brown talks about it as guilt is when you feel like you've done the wrong thing, and shame is when you feel you are wrong. I believe that's how it goes. I might need to consult that and double check. I haven't thought about that for a long time. And I think that is part of when I talk about one of the pieces of what the work is, or one of the components of what the work is to dive back into Brené Brown's excellent work on the topic. And I have a couple of her books. I haven't read them for years and years, and it's time to go back and have a deep dive, I think, into Brené Brown's work. So I think that's one thing that I'll be doing. The other thing is that self-inquiry in terms of checking in with the places that I feel shameful about and shedding light. I think shame is one of those things that really does live in the dark. It lives in the recesses of, oh, I don't want to think about that. I'll just push it down, or I'll push it away and I won't think about it. So I think one of the antidotes for how you get through and let shame go, or release shame, or release those parts that you're making wrong within yourself, is to do the counterintuitive thing, which is to go deeper. Shame, I think, wants or makes you feel like you want to hide, run and hide, or not think about it and do something else, distract. And I think the solution is to double down, triple down, look even closer, dive in even deeper, and ask those questions. Feel that level of discomfort I was talking about, I think, in a few videos ago, being willing to be uncomfortable. And I think emotional discomfort is required to look into this. One of the ways that I'll be doing the work is the study I've done with Demartini and balancing perceptions, looking into those things that I feel shameful about and questioning them. And Byron Katie, who talks about, examine them and ask the question, is this true? and using that to balance perspectives and just check in. And also, I mean, other than the message of shame that something needs to change, which is doing the work, what is the point of hanging on to it? What is the point of reliving and refeeling shame? There is no real point if your behaviors are changing and you're making progress and you're building momentum, even if you're right at the beginning of the journey. So that's a reassuring reminder that I'm glad has come up. And in pranic healing that I've been studying, it is discussed that emotions, or one of the principles is emotions and thoughts can take on form if you give them energy. So if you feed them energy, and they actually live in your aura and can actually get in the way of taking action, of how you think and feel about yourself. So to clear out those thought forms and energetic forms is part of the work as well. So just to summarize, going into Brené Brown's work, the DeMartini work, just questioning and spending time with it, spending time with shame, listening for the message, balancing perspectives, asking, is this true? And yeah, seeing if there's a different side, because there will be, there always is. And then the pranic healing, the meditation to clear things out, as well as the practical pieces of the sweeping and cleansing of energetic thought forms and emotional forms that do not serve. So that will do it for day 13, lucky 13. Yeah, ciao. I wanted to stop because I know I can go on for ages, but I do want to do a longer form video, and I'll capture my thoughts on that as we go. Okay, for real this time.